as the systems just continue to pushing through. Going to go ahead and look at that radar view because this is an active storm. You can really start to see some of that red coloration there, a little bit of that curvature. Now that's going to be what we continue to call a hook echo here for meteorologists, and that really just starts to mean that we're starting to see some of that system as it tracks just northern Mobile County. And also rotational velocity is increasing on this storm. So they're really concerned about this system as it's tracking through northern Mobile County and continues further on in closer towards the Mount Vernon area. So if you are in Mount Vernon, this is a serious tornado warning. Confirmed tornado on the ground. They're picking up on that debris signature. Make sure you have a way to get alerts. Go into your safe space. I know right now it's a Thursday, so if you're at home, make sure you know where your safe space is. That's going to be a bottom level of a floor, away from doors, away from windows. Think of a pantry, think of a closet. If you have a basement, go there. I know it's not as common here, but away from windows, small closets, bathrooms. If you're going to go into your bathroom, make sure you go ahead and have a way to protect your head. Close the door, get into the bathtub. It's just going to be the best thing that you can do on this time. But again, that area of debris rotation was just picked up southeast of Lambert Cemetery Road in northern Mobile County, approaching closer towards Chastang and also U.S. Highway 43. So approaching closer towards Mount Vernon and also the Chastang area. So again, stay weather aware heading into today. We're going to continue to keep you updated. If you're just now joining us, a tornado warning has been issued for Mobile, Baldwin counties. The National Weather Service saying that they saw a debris signature with this system as it continues just to track further towards the northeast. A fast moving system too, moving east at 40 miles per hour, seeing heavy rainfall and also a lot of thunder and lightning within this system. Now going back to what that tornado warning looks like, this is going to be including the northern portions of Baldwin County, Tensas just north of Stockton, Mount Vernon included in this, Citronelle, Gulf Crest, you are not included in it, but this is going to continue to cross over Highway 43 and approaching closer towards Highway 59. Heading into just about the next 30 minutes, but that tornado warning is going to be in effect until 1 p.m. Now, if you're joining us from elsewhere, if you're in other portions of Mobile, Baldwin County, just a reminder, severe weather is possible today. All modes of it. Have a way to get those alerts. Have that Fox 10 weather app downloaded, and just stay tuned with us here on Fox 10. Now, again, our velocity scans still not looking too impressive at this time, especially as it approaches closer towards Mount Vernon, but zooming in just a little bit closer, getting some of that street view. Really starting to see some of that closer towards Patillo Road. Let's see. We have the Old Cemetery Road, West Coy Smith Road, Bird Pit Road, and also Joan Harris Road. There you go, starting to get some of those new velocity scans. So this is approaching closer towards Highway 43. This is really approaching fast on the Mount Vernon area. Again, 40 miles per hour, fast moving system. You're probably hearing some of those winds pick up. Might even be just a little bit calm before the storm gets there. If you know anyone that lives in Mount Vernon, go ahead, text them, give them a call, give them a heads up. I'd much rather you check on them than go ahead and just let them not be updated in case you know anyone that lives over in Mount Vernon near Highway 43, Military Road, Sam Jones Avenue, Evans Avenue. If you are in that portion of Mount Vernon, you need to be in your safe space. Again, that's going to be the bottom level, away from doors, away from windows. It's also going to be a pantry, a closet. Also, just an update from the National Weather Service that the tornado debris signature is up to very tall, 6,500 feet. So they're considering an upgrade on this tornado warning to really be a severe, a dangerous tornado on the ground. So again, if you are in between, if you're in the Mount Vernon area, Mobile County, Baldwin counties, if you're in the northern portions there, the Tensas Delta just north of Chastang, make sure you're getting into your safe space. If you know anyone there, go ahead and give them a heads up. Now, this was a confirmed tornado. It's located near Movico, and it is moving 9 miles east of Citronelle, moving east at 40 miles per hour. A very quick moving system. Not a lot of time to get into that safe space. I keep saying it. If you know anyone in this area, go ahead, give them a heads up, give them a call, give them a text. Just let them know that you're thinking about them at this time in case they haven't been staying weather aware. Tensas, you are also included in this tornado warning as it will approach closer towards Highway 59 not too long from now. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find that debris signature that the National Weather Service has been talking about. This one's going to be a much better view at that. Unfortunately, our scan's still not quite seeing it. I think it's going to be that one just closer towards the West Coy Smith Road. So the Villard Bird Row, the Lim Lofton Road, the West Coy Smith Road, approaching closer towards the Shepherd House Road. So if I've listed off any of those, if you've seen those streets while you're driving home, if you know where they are, that's where we're tracking that potential tornado on the ground. Go inside, get into cover, stay away from doors, stay away from windows. Don't try and go outside with the system or even go closer towards it. Again, just be safe at this time, as this is a confirmed tornado on the ground due to that debris signature confirming that system. And also, it does seem to be a strong tornado too. The National Weather Service not holding back with that wording that tornado debris signature, that TDS, it's being lofted high up into the air. So that's why also they are considering upgrading this tornado warning to be a strong tornado, a possibly deadly tornado if it continues on the ground at this track. So we've been talking about this all morning. Tornado watch all across the Gulf Coast. Even if you're not included in this tornado warning, just make sure you're staying weather aware. Have a way to get those updates as we continue further on into the rest of this morning. So if you are in the Mount Vernon area, again, this tornado warning is heading closer towards you, this confirmed tornado on the ground. That's going to be closer towards State Street, St. Stephen's Road, and also Old Highway 43, Denny Street, Military Road, Bishop Street. If I am saying your name of your road that you live on, if you live near those, again, this is all going to be included for you as well. This tornado warning in effect until 1 p.m., but will likely be extended even further as it continues on that track through Mobile County and also Baldwin County, tracking over the Tensas Delta area. We do have team coverage here at Fox 10. We're going to keep you updated as we make our way further on into the rest of this afternoon. But elsewhere, again, I keep saying if you're not included in this, just make sure that you have a way to get those alerts in case you do find yourself in a warned area heading into the rest of today. Also, just a quick reminder that we do have our Fox 10 weather app. That's going to be a great tool to have heading into today. We'll have our live coverage in the palm of your hand. We'll send you those alerts. Also, we do stream live on our Facebook as well to keep you updated there. I do try to monitor those comments too. So in case you have any reports from where you're located, just go ahead and report those as well. Just seeing some of those comments there in case you are watching on our Facebook live stream, in case you lose power, in case you lose Wi-Fi. That's going to be a great tool for you to have as well so that you can keep updated on this tornado warning. So going back to what this looks like, Mount Vernon, Tensas, Chastang, you are all included in this tornado warning. This is going to include Mobile, Baldwin counties, but could also be extended even further now that this is a confirmed tornado on the ground per the National Weather Service. If you are in Mount Vernon, if you live near Highway 43, if you live near Chastang, go ahead, get into your safe space. Take a deep breath, just go ahead, head into a pantry, a closet, downstairs. If you're going to go to a bathroom, shower, bathtub, best place to go. Also, if you have a way to cover your head, go ahead and do it. Pot, book, anything. That's going to be a pretty important thing heading into today. If you have kids at home, go ahead, be thinking of them, put them there as well. If you know of anyone that lives in Mount Vernon, text, call, email, just some way to alert them in case they aren't staying weather aware, if they don't have that update, if they don't know that they're in an active tornado warning with that possible tornado on the ground. Now looking in just a little bit closer, that velocity scan getting a little bit brighter, especially eyeing areas just closer towards Kelly Road, Highway 43, Cedar Creek Landing Road, Jerry Taylor Road, Joan Harris Road. If I am saying street names, if you pass those on your way home, you need to be in your safe space because that's where we're eyeing this area of rotation and this possible confirmed tornado on the ground. No recent updates from the National Weather Service, but again, I'll go ahead and read that last update that just came in about 5 minutes ago. They were saying that tornado debris signature, that it was reaching high up in the air. That debris was being lofted up. That was what prompted this to be a confirmed tornado on the ground. Luckily, we can see into the eyes of these storms. And so once we start to do these scans, they can see the rain, they can see everything else, but then they start to see things that aren't that. They start to see things that could be part of trees, grass, dirt, even parts of homes or buildings. And so that's where we got that tornado debris signature from. The radar picked up on it saying, hey, this isn't just rain, this is something else. And so they're seeing that it's being thrown high up into the air, 6,500 feet. And so that's also why they're considering upgrading this even further to be a very dangerous tornado on the ground if this track continues and if that debris signature continues as well. So going ahead, taking a look at that debris signature one more time to see if we can pick up on anything. This right here would probably be my biggest concern, moving through Cedar Creek, crossing over Highway 43 right now, just south of Evans Avenue and south of Mount Vernon. So again, if you are going to be in this area near Kelly Road, Highway 43, make sure you are in your safe space. This is a very strong system as it's continuing to push through the Gulf Coast region. Call someone, give them a heads up. I'm not kidding. Go ahead and do that closer towards Cedar Creek Landing Road, Small Road, Wide Road. There you go, Wide Road. If I listed off any of those roads that you live near, if you know anyone that lives there, if you live on those streets, that's where you need to go ahead, be thinking about getting into your safe space, but also looking ahead from this as well. This is mainly moving south of Mount Vernon. So if you're on Military Road, Sam Jones Avenue, also Old Military Road, go ahead and get into your safe space. The good news is that it could potentially just move south of you, but go ahead, be careful. You're probably hearing a lot of this. This is going to be a very active storm, loud with that thunder and that lightning as it's tracking further towards the east, fast moving as well. I did just get a new update from the National Weather Service saying that the circulation on this tornado warned storm has shown signs of weakening. So that's going to be the good news. However, the mesocyclone, the tornado, it appears to be strengthening once again. The storms to our north have shown signs of cycling, so not to be surprised to see the same thing with this storm. So the National Weather Service is saying the storms to our north, we've already seen these tracking through northern Alabama. They weakened and then they re-strengthened, so that it's easily something that could happen with this system as well. We've seen it time and time again here on the Gulf Coast. Tornadoes that touch down, they lift up, they move, and then they touch down once again. I remember tracking one not too long ago in our George County, moving into Washington County, that we saw not too long ago. So again, go ahead, stay up to date, stay weather aware. If you are in the Tensas region, northern Baldwin County, north of Stockton, go ahead, be alert. Maybe just go ahead and get into your safe space. If you know anyone that lives near Tensas, go ahead, give them a call, give them a heads up. Go ahead, let them know that you're thinking of them. They would much rather stay weather aware heading into today and have those updates. But again, if you are just now joining us here on Fox 10, we have cut into coverage because we have what the National Weather Service has called a confirmed tornado on the ground. They picked that up from a tornado debris signature showing that things were lofted into the air that weren't just your typical things with some of these storms. It wasn't just rain. It wasn't just, but we were seeing debris. We're seeing possibly trees, parts of buildings, even some grass getting up there. And also showing that it was getting up there pretty high, 6,500 feet into the air. And so that is a considerable storm as we are continuing to track this elsewhere, still under that tornado watch. And that's going to be effect heading into this evening as well. So the rest of the Gulf Coast region, Mobile, Baldwin counties, our inland counties, the Panhandle, you're all included in this tornado watch heading into tonight. This isn't even part of that system line of storms that we're continuing to track moving through. This is just going to be an isolated system ahead of it, taking a wider look at that. Really starting to see this active system as it's pushing through Mobile, Baldwin counties, moving into Tensas region, and also moving through Citronelle. You're still starting to hear a lot of these loud thunderstorms. Don't worry, Citronelle, you are not included in this tornado warning. It's going to be further towards your east. Also, as we look closer towards Biloxi, the Mississippi coast, really starting to see some of that heavy rain, these active thunderstorms. Going to keep a close eye on that system as it continues tracking east into southern and central Mobile County and also Baldwin County. Again, these systems are moving east very quickly, 40 miles per hour heading into the rest of today. So looking in just a little bit closer towards the Mount Vernon area, you can really start to see all of that thunder, all of that lightning, heavy rain pushing through as well. Lightning strikes, they've been pretty active, 258 strikes, and that's just going to be in the past 30 minutes. So you're going to really start to hear some of these thunderstorms as they continue to push through. Checking in on where that rotation is now. This has now moved east of Mount Vernon. Still not looking as tight as it was, but that's what the National Weather Service is concerned about, is that it's not looking as impressive as it's continuing just to track. It is on the eastern side of Old Military Road. So very broad. That's a very wide area of rotation that we're keeping an eye on. So again, it's moved to the east side of Mount Vernon at this time. But as the National Weather Service was saying, they're going to keep an eye on this because what they've seen so far for storms just to our north and northern Alabama so far for today is that they look what we call tight. They start to look like these tight colors together. They look well formed, and then they start to look a little bit weaker at times, but then they'll regain some of that traction, some of that strength, and retouch down, especially since this was a confirmed tornado due to that debris signature. We need to keep a close eye on this system as it continues just to track further towards the east, closer towards Tensas, and then after that eventually making its way closer towards Porch Creek and also Jack Springs. So keeping an eye on you next, Baldwin County. This is beginning to push out of Mobile County. So Mount Vernon starting to see some of that clearing. But if you are on the east side of Mount Vernon, make sure that you're still staying in your safe space. Make sure that you have a way to get those alerts. Again, we are live streaming on our app and also on our Facebook as well. Team coverage here on Fox 10 as we continue further on into the rest of this afternoon just to keep you updated. A tornado watch here for the Gulf Coast. That's going to be until 5 p.m. heading into this evening. But elsewhere, we just have that one single tornado warning for northern Mobile and Baldwin counties. So going back to that, remember, if you're at Citronelle, if you're in Gulf Crest, there you go. The National Weather Service even updating that tornado warning. Mobile County, you have been completely taken out of this. So Mount Vernon, you are no longer in that tornado warning. Chastain, you are out of it as well. Make sure if you're in that area, you are being extremely careful. We're still starting to see all of that thunder, that lightning, and that heavy rain. I wouldn't go outside just yet. Just go ahead and stay in your home in case you are watching us here. Go ahead, give it some time to pass before you go outside and check for any damage. Just make sure you're thinking of yourself, being safe at this time, especially with all of that thunder and lightning that we are seeing out there, even on the tail end of this system. Just this isolated storm that's continuing to push through. Now, the Tensaw area is still in this tornado warning. The National Weather Service still has this going until 1 p.m. and they are still calling this a confirmed tornado on the ground. It was last located near Mount Vernon, or 14 miles north of Creola, still moving very quickly, 40 miles, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Now checking in on that area of rotation, still looking pretty organized at this time as it's continuing just on the east side of Mount Vernon there. The good news is that it is starting to move into some unpopulated areas at this time, not even picking up really on any street names where this area of rotation is located. So I'm going to continue to track this, keep you updated on this tornado warning. Right now, it just looks to be moving over more of the Tensaw Delta area. Less populated areas, mainly just some fish camps in that area. But again, make sure you're staying weather aware, staying tuned to Fox 10 as we continue further throughout the rest of today. We are live streaming on our app. We'll send you alerts there, plus also I'm live streaming on Facebook as well. Just going ahead, reading some of these comments. I did just get someone asked about Gulf Crest on our Facebook. And again, this tornado warning is going to be to your east. That potential is still there heading into today. That's why we have that tornado watch issued. But Gulf Crest, you are okay at this time. But we're still starting to see some of those scattered thunderstorms moving throughout the Gulf Coast region heading into today. So regardless of where you are in our Fox 10 viewing area, if you're joining us today, we do have the potential for strong to severe storms heading into this afternoon. So make sure you're staying weather aware for the entirety of today. Again, that Fox 10 weather app, that's going to be a great tool to have. We have team coverage here on Fox 10 News. We have 4 meteorologists in the building right now, just keeping you updated as we make our way into the rest of today. But again, I'm going to be monitoring these Facebook Live comments. If you want to go over there, if you have a question, I'd be more than happy to answer it, especially as we make our way into the rest of today with this severe weather coverage. Tornado watch, that is going to be in effect until 5 p.m. We haven't quite seen the system push through just yet. This is all going to be isolated storms just ahead of it. So here's what it looks like for Tensaw, Mount Vernon, Citronelle. It is loud. It is stormy in that area by the time we make it further on into the rest of today. And this is only just ahead of that line. That main line right now is located just further towards Birmingham, moving closer towards Montgomery. And it's also starting to move into northern Clark County, Washington County, and also our Mississippi counties. Leakesville, you're starting to see this line. Thomasville, you're starting to see the line push in, along with Coffeyville, Millry, you're starting to see some of this heavy rain, this lightning and thunder. Here's the good news though, once this line moves past you, your severe weather threat will have ended. So you're already starting to see that main line push through. Could start to see some gusty winds pick up, some heavy downpours. And also I did just get a report from Jack McHenry. He said that we had hail falling on the highway in Calvert at 12:30. So I am getting reports of hail already. That is going to be one concern heading into today, those gusty straight line winds as well. Again, if you have any other reports, safely stay inside and go ahead and send those our way as well. You can also submit any photos or videos that you have on our Fox 10 weather app. If you just go to the menu on the side and scroll down, then you can submit some of those. So we're just keeping a close eye on these tornado warning as it continues to push through. Just a reminder, Mount Vernon, you are outside of this tornado warning. You are no longer included in this. This area of rotation moving over the Tensas Delta right now, moving closer towards Tensas and northern Baldwin County. But Mobile County has completely been taken out of this tornado warning so far. But when it was originally issued, it was a confirmed tornado on the ground per the National Weather Service, as they did pick up on that tornado debris signature that was just closer towards Old Cemetery Road.
This is still
Lambert Cemetery Road, my apologies, in northern Mobile County, and it was approaching closer towards Chastang and U.S. Highway 43. At that time that they did say that tornado debris signature, what they were picking up on, it was lofting that high into the air, 6,500 feet. And so that's why that they were considering upgrading that. Right now it is still just a tornado warning for that possible confirmed tornado on the ground. And then the latest update from the National Weather Service, it says that circulation is crossing into the river delta, but a possible debris signature is still showing up. On the track, areas near Tensas and Highway 59 would be in the path. So again, as I've been saying, if you are in the Tensas area, if you're near Highway 59, go ahead, get into your safe space. If you know anyone that lives in that area, tell them to do the same. Bottom level, away from doors, away from windows. Think of a pantry, think of a closet, think of a bathroom, and go ahead and get into that bathtub as well. Now, as a reminder, we do have team coverage here on Fox 10. Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith joins me now with just a quick update as we continue to track this system. Jason.
Well, Jennifer, let's take a look at where we're seeing this potential debris and the area of rotation and where it is right now. It is crossing the Mobile-Tensas Delta here, and it's going to end up here just north of Hubbard's Landing between Latham and Tensas, as it is tracking on off towards the east at 40 miles an hour. So this is the cell that was a confirmed tornado, and that debris signature is still showing up right here. So what we're able to see with our dual pole radar is we can tell where it's raining. We can also tell which direction the raindrops are moving. That's velocity. That gives us an idea of where the rotation is. And then we can also look and see if there are other objects in the sky besides raindrops, and that would be the potential of debris aloft. So that's what we have here, a debris signature, what we call a TDS, a tornado debris signature, and it looks like this area of rotation and this tornado debris signature is going to track between Latham and Tensas, and out ahead of it we have Highway 59. We've got the Seals Road area here. We also have Reynolds Road and Pine Log Road. These are areas that are in the path of this tornado. This is a confirmed tornado with the tornado debris signature. So it's a very serious situation here that's moved out of Mobile County and is now heading into Baldwin County, and we want to alert all the communities ahead of the path of this storm. So Latham and Tensas, you are on Highway 59 north of Stockton. This is going to be north of Stockton in Baldwin County, and you can see some of the upper gas line road here. We've got Turner Hill Road as well, Danny Hall Road. If we call out your road, you are in the path of this potential tornado or this confirmed tornado as it's coming across the Mobile-Tensas Delta. So this is north of Interstate 65, and it is moving on off to the east at 40 miles an hour, and it will continue tracking on off to the east. There is going to be potentially some hail located with it up here as well to the north. That is showing up as well on our correlation coefficient. So this possible tornado or this confirmed tornado is east, and of course you can see we have our storm trackers headed up that way too to check out some of the damage. Headed up I-65 right now, headed towards Highway 43 where we had some damage reported and some potential damage there around Mount Vernon. Hail here on the northern end of it, that's going to extend from about Blackshear and Little River south down towards Tensas, and then there is your possible tornado there. So there is the hail showing up here in this portion of the storm there, and you can see it was much more sizable when it was co-located with the tornado debris signature that when it was over Mount Vernon, and potentially a little less hail now, but still debris showing up here. That is a new volume stand, so you see Jennifer actually moved the circle, and the debris sometimes can lag the actual tornadic circulation. I would expect that the tornadic circulation may be somewhere right here around 59 now. So your tornadic circulation is going to be a little ahead of the actual debris. It takes a bit for the debris to get lofted up into the air, but most likely you've got a tornado coming across Highway 59 in Baldwin County between Tensas and Latham, and it will continue moving on off to the east. We have a lot of active active weather in the area right now. There are a couple of different things we're watching, but this is the area of greatest concern. And looking at that warning, if you're in Baldwin County, you keep hearing tornado warning Baldwin County. It is a specific part of Baldwin County that's under the warning. It's going to be this area in red. There's also a thunderstorm warning that's associated with that box. This does not include anything to the south of I-10 or around Foley. We've got it right there. The red box, that is your storm-based warning. So the actual tornadic rotation is right here, and it will continue through this red box, and it may likely be extended. And one of the things we can see, besides the tornado debris signature and besides the rotation area and the velocity, it's just the overall hook signature on radar right now. And it is very prominent. It definitely stands out. If you can see through some of the lightning here, right here, that is your hook signature, and it's going to be your possible tornado right between Latham and Tensas. And it looks like somewhere around Hubbard's Landing, maybe a little north of there as it's coming across the delta now. It will continue to work across the rural sections of northern Baldwin County and out ahead of this long range. If it stays on the ground and continues as a tornado warning, Lottie is one of the areas where we may have to deal with this, you know, in the next 20 to 30 minutes as it crosses northern Baldwin County. So it may be possible that anywhere around Redtown and Lottie that we may see this tornado warning extended. Potentially the 7 Mile Road area and County Road 1. Those are areas that may potentially be impacted by this. And then ultimately Porch Creek. There is your rotation area here. We still have debris associated with this rotation area, so it is a radar confirmed tornado, and we've had circulation crossing the river delta, and now it's starting to make its way towards 59. So there is an area, a large area, where this moved across between Mount Vernon and between Latham and Tensas that is fairly lowly populated, just a few fish camps here. But now this area of concern is crossing 59, and it looks like the debris signature may have lightened up a little bit. This is it right there, and if we go back in time, you can see it stands out, and it continues to look fairly prominent. And then here it looks like perhaps the tornado may be in the process of cycling here, but the storm still has the potential to produce a tornado as it crosses 59 and moves across northern Baldwin County. So our situation today, it was a day with a level 1 and 2 marginal slight risk, and you know those are the levels of risk, but it doesn't guarantee, even if we're in a level 3 or a level 4 risk for severe weather, it just gives us an overall picture of how volatile the atmosphere is. But you know, severe weather, it can pop up really at any time, and things change. And this is a situation where we had enough instability this afternoon. You can feel the breeziness going on across the area today, and enough spin with height in the atmosphere to get a tornado popped up there over the Tensas Delta. The tornado warning has been continued until 1 o'clock, and so that's going to be for about the next 11 minutes here. And the confirmed tornado was located about 9 miles north of Stockton, so that's going to be on 59, essentially moving east at 55. So at 12:47 p.m., which was 2 minutes ago, the National Weather Service continued this warning and reconfirmed it as a tornado on the ground across northern Baldwin County. So this thing is still a tornado emergency situation here for northern Baldwin County, as this radar confirmed and confirmed tornado is moving east at now 55 miles an hour. That's a little quicker forward speed than that 40 mile per hour forward speed that we saw with this thing earlier. So it is moving very, very quickly. And when we see a fast moving circulation like this, it definitely gets to the point where the idea of being able to go out and view this tornado is a really bad idea. It's something that's not really possible in the area. And we continue to track this thing as moving east with team coverage. Jennifer?
I was going to say, Jason, just a really quick update from Twitter right now. It was the scanner traffic has reported several structures reported with damage and some missing roofs near US 43 near Cedar Creek Landing Road in the Movico area.
Okay. Yeah, Cedar Creek is one of the river landings there near Berry Steam Plant. So that's going to be very close to Berry Steam Plant there. And as you get on the Mobile River side of the Delta, that would have been a report when this circulation was back over about right here near the Cedar Creek landing area. Some damage there. So this is definitely a confirmed tornado.
Yeah, I was going to say also one more thing, that there were power lines and also debris in the roadway at US 43 in that Cedar Creek Landing Road. And so there are starting to see heavy delays in both directions. If you're in that area, if you don't have to head out anytime soon, please don't do that. Let the emergency vehicles get to where they need to go. Stay off the roadways, just that way they can go ahead, help anyone that needs it, clear out those roadways. And in case you do lose power, if that was one of the power lines, just a reminder that we are live streaming on our app and also our Facebook as well. That's going to be a concern heading into the rest of today once we still have that line to move through as well. Yeah,
Highway 43, a heavily traveled roadway there. Stay off of Highway 43 at Cedar Creek, and that's going to be, between McIntosh and Creola. Access that area. A lot of industry there. A lot of travel goes on. Highway 43, a fairly wide road, so it may be possible that there is a minimal amount of debris on 43, but definitely looking at Cedar Creek Road, that could be one of those roads where it would be very easily to be covered with debris. A very narrow roadway lined with trees along the side of it there. All right, looking at it now, our rotation area is pretty much right on top of Tensas, if not a little on the south side of the Tensas community. It's going to continue tracking to the east towards 7 Mile Road and Lottie, and this warning will likely be continued. That is a potential situation as this moves on off towards the east at 55 miles an hour. And in the path of this, we can look at where the storm is right now, but we also want to think about the communities out ahead of it so that you can prepare. Here, as we get, this is the border between Baldwin County and Monroe County right there. Lottie right here, you are in Redtown too. You are in the path of this possible tornado, a 7 Mile Road area, and this will be tracking towards Porch Creek and Jack Springs as it moves eastward towards Boonville Road. So if it holds together for another 15 minutes or so, this could be a tornado warning for Escambia County, Alabama, and ultimately areas just north of Atmore. So that's another potential target that may be impacted by this tornado, which has confirmed damage on Highway 43 at Cedar Creek Road, and also was a confirmed tornado over 59 in Baldwin County. And we just got an update from the National Weather Service saying that the tornado warning is going to be continued for the areas over towards Porch Creek. It was 12 miles west of Porch Creek as of the most recent update, which is exactly where we're placing it. And it is 17 miles northwest of Atmore, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So their track a little more northeastward, which means it could end up around Mineola Church Road and Boonville Road. Jennifer?
I was going to say, also I'm seeing a report online too that 2 mobile homes have been reported of being overturned in that area as well. I want to go ahead and remind folks that if you are in the Mount Vernon area, that your system is not over. Now this is just going to be a line of storms pushing through the area. Looking in just a little bit closer, we're starting to see heavy rain, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. So if you're seeing damage from there, still go ahead and think ahead, because we're looking just behind this system and we still have that line of storms to push through, and that's going to bring in additional heavy rain, gusty winds, frequent lightning and thunder. So go ahead and just stay off the roads if you don't have to. Let emergency vehicles get to where they need to go. The more that we start to see some of these damage reports come in from what was a confirmed tornado on the ground near Mount Vernon, we want them to be able to get to where they need to go. Let those emergency vehicles get through those roadways. I know a lot of those are closed, a lot of power lines, but now that we're starting to see damage to homes, plus also those potentially 2 overturned mobile homes in that area as well, it's important to just go ahead, think about the folks in that area, think of your safety, think of other people's safety as well, especially as we make our way into the rest of this afternoon. The severe weather event is not over. We still have these isolated storms ahead of it, and also we have this line of storms that's moving through northern Washington, Mobile County, Clark County at this time. Now also seeing additional reports right now that there was significant damage to power lines and mobile homes. It was a half-mile south of Mount Vernon on Highway 43. So that's where those damage reports are coming from. The National Weather Service also updating us, saying that they're still monitoring the storm very closely, and they may continue to issue a new tornado warning that's just upstream of it. So further towards the east, where Jason was talking about some of those additional areas that could be included. The last several scans, so those rotation scans that we've been seeing, they've continued to show the weakening trend, but that they cannot let their guard down as the storms today have shown signs of cycling. I was talking about that earlier. Northern Alabama, they've seen some of these storms already today. They weaken and then they re-strengthen. So that's why we're going to continue to keep a close eye on this system as it tracks through the remainder of Baldwin County, moves closer towards Monroe County and also the northern Panhandle area. They have no plans to reissue at this point, but that could change as it continues to move towards the northeast. So again, this tornado warning is in effect until 1 p.m. The National Weather Service says that they'll most likely just go ahead and let that expire once they get closer towards 1 p.m. But we'll continue to keep you updated right here on Fox 10. Again, if you're in the Mount Vernon area, please stay inside. Let the emergency vehicles get to where they need to go. Don't get on the roads if you don't have to, but maybe just check on your neighbors if you would like to. We're still receiving some of those damage reports. If you can safely report those to us as well, go ahead and do that. But again, just think of your safety and think of others' safety at this time. Jason.
Now, looking at it, what caused this tornado was a classic, what we call supercell thunderstorm, and it's right here. And it really had a very prominent hook signature with it as it moved across the Mount Vernon area and out over the Tensas Delta. It still has the structure of a strong supercell thunderstorm. The hook is not as pronounced as it was right there. Look at this. If you want to see just a little radar analysis, a textbook radar analysis of what a radar signature would look like when a tornado would be in the process of forming and be on the ground. When you have a storm that has that comma shape, it looks like a J or a hook, your rotation area is going to be about right here, and that rotation area went right across Mount Vernon near Cedar Creek. Cedar Creek is a river landing that is very close to Berry's steam plant on the Mobile River, and it crossed there and then continued to move across the Tensas Delta and ended up crossing in between Tensas and Latham. And now currently the warned storm is between Tensas and for Lottie, and the National Weather Service did just expire this tornado warning. So we are now no longer under a tornado warning, thankfully, for northern Baldwin County. So the storm looks like it at least has temporarily cycled to the point where it is not producing a tornado. However, it still has the potential to become tornadic again at any time. And if that's the case, we're certainly going to come right back on the air with you. And we're going to stay with you anyway through the top of the hour here, just to give you an update if you're joining us on what's going on. We've had reports of damage on Highway 43 at Cedar Creek. A tornado popped down and was on the ground here apparently across Highway 43. Of course, we'll be confirming that possibly today, if not by tomorrow, as a confirmed tornado, but was producing damage and had a debris signature on radar. So very highly likely was a tornado that crossed Highway 43 and then moved across the Tensas Delta, lower population density right here, and then came back out there along 59 as a confirmed tornado. We still had a debris signature as it was crossing 59 between Tensas and Latham. Now that warning has been allowed to expire. The hail core that we were looking at with this too is also showed less intensity within about the last 5 to 10 minutes. So that's a sign that this storm is not as strong as it was when it was producing that tornado over the Mount Vernon area. We've got a heavy thunder shower here over Seven Hills and in southwestern Mobile County. That is moving northeast. It's about to move into Mobile. These storms are not going to last all day. They're going to be around through mid-afternoon, and then we're likely going to see most of this winding down by dinner time tonight. So there will be better weather ahead for the Gulf Coast region. But we brought you team coverage here with meteorologist Jennifer Lambers. I'm meteorologist Jason Smith. If we see more going on in the area as far as warnings, tornado warnings, or new information on that situation with a possible tornado touching down on Highway 43, we'll bring it to you this afternoon, and we'll have complete coverage coming up at 4 and 5 p.m. right here on Fox 10 News.